gonna send you a video.
Recording has been started.
Recording.
You are live.
Do I have to read you the recap?
Do it real quick.
Okay, we went into the sewer, bought some stuff, half of us went down, but then we were okay, and then we found treasure, and also we got Hell's spiderweb. And
You did?
oh right, we haven't delivered the stuff to what's his fuck yet.
Tombe?
Yeah.
Was that his
Yeah.
name?
Yeah.
But
I wrote that down wrong somewhere.
That's very quickly what you missed on Glee.
Yeah.
So after sort of nursing your wounds for a second and collecting the treasure available, I assume y'all head back to the sewers.
Do we get a short rest?
Out to you guys.
Do we really want to rest in the sewers?
No, I guess not.
We can short rest later.
As long as we do get a short rest, because I am at 7 hit points right now.
Oh, kiddo.
Yeah, I think Nagi would suggest short resting on one of the higher levels of the sewer.
Oh, so in the new sewer.
Yes.
No, we don't have to short rest in the sewer.
The new sewer that's on top of the old sewer.
Yeah. Or we could just look like a bunch of ruffians hanging out by the, by the outlet thing that does the sewer thing. I don't know what it's called.
Nin. Julius is gonna give you a healing word. So
Aw.
1d4 plus 5.
Also, Julius, Irene found and gave to Julius a pendant that looked like a
old version of
the current Lede symbology. Just whipped a nay-nay.
Alright, you get 8 points back.
Nin looks like she's about to cry and just hugs him.
Aww.
And says, I'm sorry.
He'll
I'm
give her a
sorry.
little bit of a pat on the head and like the very much so like brotherly way where like they like pet the top of the head and like a little bit of the like side of the face action.
Aw.
Just like, it's alright, kid. Don't worry about it. It happens.
I won't do it again.
Look, I kind of did the same thing to you with a crossbow bolt once. I won't take it as good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and I've punched a few of you a bunch of times.
You have. Either way,
But it still looked like it hurt.
Yeah, I won't lie, it did hurt. But I'm made of tougher stuff, kid. You won't take me down, I promise.
Well, I'm gonna make it up to you somehow. I promise.
Just keep yourself safe, alright?
Which should probably be more of a threat than she means it. How will she make it up to him? We will find out.
Survey's still out, but we're thinking frog.
Yeah, frogs! Julie's
Froge. Little Froge.
Froge.
Congratulations, Nin is now his sister.
Aww.
She gets to explain that to Shinohara.
Yep. Sorry, I adopted a kid.
I
Here's
adopted
another
the
one.
weird one.
Chose the weirdest child you could find.
Those are the types he likes. The weird
You
ones are fun.
you make your way up out of the lower sewers and into the upper sewers, the newer sewers. You find that the newer sewers themselves, the water level has risen somewhat from when you've been up here earlier. It is not.
Yeah, tide is.
Yeah, it is not overtaking the walkways or anything, but it is starting to fill up. Probably evening tide has rolled in, or evening, water usage spiked. Maybe a combo. None of you are hydrological engineers.
God bless.
That
New
you know
backup
of.
character idea.
You're not gonna be playing the Taxman as a backup character.
Oh, the Taxman had dabbles in side projects.
Shh.
I mean, you're kind of already like the death equivalent of a tax man.
Man.
Death bureaucracy.
Aster the tax.
You all,
Tax boy.
I presume you all head back up to the surface?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the sun is very low in the sky. I mean, it is just about kissing the horizon as you all make your way up and out.
Oh, thank goodness, fresh air. Ah, ah. She just keeps taking deep breaths.
Smells like shit down there.
Yeah, it was pretty
Worse
bad.
than shit.
No, it was, dear.
No, she said worse than shit.
It smelled like 300-year-old shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
And other stuff.
Blood, goo, acid,
Spider bits.
Quite a
spider
bit of
bits,
goo.
snake bits.
And snake bits.
Mm.
Oh, was there
Um,
any like poison that we could harvest from the snakes? If I could.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
So make a quick retroactive nature check.
What was that?
Make a quick retroactive nature check.
Not survival?
Sorry, you're either really quiet or really breaking up. I'm gonna turn your sound up.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Yeah, a little
Nate,
bit.
nature and not survival, because normally survival's harvesting.
I want nature right now because y'all did beat the shit out of these snakes, and I want you to identify whether or not the.
Nope.
Can I roll
That's
for the
fair.
other snake?
No.
Okay.
You rolled, and then you can roll one as well.
I love them both. God
Um,
bless them.
You're kind of looking at these snakes that have been like beaten
Oh, no, I was
and magicked to
gonna
death.
try and get him from the spider. Sorry.
Oh, from the spider. Yeah, you look at all these animals that have been beaten and magicked to death, and you're not quite sure if anything's still intact in there.
Well, you see, in the Feywild, snakes usually have their poison glands in their butts, so.
I am not touching a snake's butt. And then flash forward back to the surface.
Thank you for that Feywild spider cannon.
You don't know if she was telling the truth. Been lying.
Yes,
Every time we improv things about the Feywild, it just gets worse.
and it's already pretty bad. So-
We should, most of us should probably bath.
Yeah.
I am kind of covered in goo.
She looks at the
Yeah.
ocean right there, then looks at her, looks at the ocean, and starts stepping towards the ocean.
Granny does prestidigitation on Nagi to clean her up and says, "Not the ocean right now, dear."
Oh, darn.
Hey, I think Nin has prestidigitation too. I guess she just wasn't using it.
Granny can use it on everyone. A ton of people in this party have it.
Thank you,
I
Granny.
assumed we'd already cleaned up.
Mm.
Yeah, thank you, Granny.
You're welcome.
Okay. Okay, so now we got a Conbase house to deliver the spider silk.
So I think that's next on the agenda.
As
Yeah.
the sun starts to set and you all clean yourselves up before you get looked at weird, you all head back up to the corner of the Copper Road where Conbay lives. And the three people who are already there, Nagi, Nin, and Irene, lead the rest of the party to this shabby sort of looking apartment block and building, and then down the staircase to Conbay's basement studio apartment. This is why I asked for milk, so I could make this man's voice.
God.
Oh
Milk.
man. Milk.
In
Ta-da!
their defense, I don't have other beverages available, so literally all I could offer him was milk.
Nagi will
You-
tap on
I
his
might need
door.
to. I might need to look through your cabinet for honey.
Can get you.
Dear.
Oh, okay, I'll wait till you're back then.
Yeah, you knock on the door, and there's a pause and some shuffling, and then
Yeah.
hold on, where is it? What?
We got your spider
is it?
silk.
That
Oh.
was fast.
We
We're
work
very
quick.
efficient, dear.
The door kind of creaks open, and he pokes his head out, and he's like, "There's more of you."
Well,
Yeah,
yes, we
it's
didn't
a-
do it all on our own, dear.
We would have died.
We would have died very hard.
Almost died anyways.
That's
But
also
we
true.
didn't.
Yeah.
Question, Parker.
Mhm.
What area is this, by the way?
It's sort of where the Copper Road meets the Twilight District. So if I'm gonna,
Okay. Julius would have been in disguise then, because he doesn't do well in the Twilight District thing.
but y'all could have skirted the harbor quarter real good.
Okay. Well, he would have disguised himself anyway, so
Mm-hmm.
at first
Nagi
level.
will look to whoever has Combe's portion with silk. Oh,
I think it was Granny, wasn't it?
I feel like Granny probably had it
Mm-hmm.
by virtue of she's the responsible one. So Granny can hand over the bundle of spider silk, lovingly mage-handed into a manageable size.
Knitted into a sweater.
I'm pretty. Yeah, I think we all kind of helped harvest it because I remember it was us talking about you
Right,
said
'cause
mage-handed.
a bunch of us had made hands.
I mean, Lynn definitely
spider
bought
silk.
some for herself.
Oh, yeah.
The reverb and echoes got really bad.
Yeah.
I think
Hold
it's just-
on.
I think it's probably because you guys are in the same room.
Yeah. You know what, PK, come over here. Mute yourself. Because I think Shannon's mic might be able to work if we just sit here and speak up.
yeah.
Try it.
About
Howdy.
Howdy.
Hog.
All right, you're just on the level.
I will not look. I will just be here.
All right.
Okay, yeah, that's much better.
Figuring out logistics. Sorry.
You're good.
You're laughing at me.
Sorry, continue.
He opens the door for you all and like lets you inside, and you can see where his painting, which had been at once half finished, has now been put against the wall, and there's a new canvas up there. It looks like he's in the process of like sketching and putting out painter's tape, but he does not look satisfied with what is going on. You're just staring at me.
I'm sorry, I can look somewhere else.
Can Nagi has seen the turtle painted before, right? Or
No,
was it
you have not.
complicated? Oh, okay.
We got the description of the turtle payment.
Yeah, we got a description, but I think it wasn't destroyed, but it was definitely seized.
Yeah.
He got
Okay.
it confiscated. Yeah, he doesn't have it anymore.
Man.
Hell.
And he's like, well, hand it over.
Mage hand ball of spider silk to his weird grabby hands that he just did that none of y'all saw.
When he takes it, he kind of like holds it on his fingertips as if he's very practiced with this. He's not going to like fully palm it because he doesn't want to get it stuck to his palm, but he's kind of holding it by fingertips. And he sort of takes this ball of spider silk over to a table off to the side, and there you can see there are various what look like components, powders, some different liquids. Clearly, obviously, where he makes and mixes paint. And he kind of, with his foot, pulls out a little bucket under the table and like shakes it into the bucket. And he's like, "All right, I will. Thank you. I'll mix that later."
Before we go, I have a quick question. Do you just inlay it into the paint, or do you have to process it some sort of special way? How do you, how,
I do have to process it a little bit.
oh,
Sorry.
she'll fish out a notebook and quill and ink. Can you write down how for us?
This is like my thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
that's
should like
fair.
risk our lives to get it for you.
Look, I don't think we should be messing with an artist's shtick.
Girls, be nice.
Fine.
He did make it quite clear that it was his own personal recipe before we agreed to go risk our lives for it.
Yeah,
so
no,
it's
that's
not very
fair.
polite to ask about it
Fine.
now.
Yeah. And he kind of gives you a look because he's still trying to figure out if you're a copper.
Okay, that's fair though. Well,
and he's
can't wait to
like,
see what you
well,
paint next.
thanks. What is it you wanted from me?
It's a great question that we didn't think about it.
Well, I think we said something last week, but I completely forgot what we said last week or the week before that.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Some time ago.
It was a month ago, actually.
Some time ago, we thought about what we wanted this artist man to do for us.
Some time ago, we had a plan.
I think it
God
was
bless
partially
us.
to earn public, some sort of points to the public, and also,
I think we just wanted him to trash Walsh. Like, is that not just our goal in general?
yeah, that's true.
Make something anti-Welsh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you
But
maybe,
subtle.
do you know who Walsh is, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is already what you're planning, but could you maybe make something, a little, or include some sort of anti-Walsh motifs,
He'd be willing to commission you for a piece that's a little, how would you say, against his character.
Like for the competition or separately?
I think it'd be funnier for the competition. But
Well,
also,
but we don't want this lovely gentleman to get in trouble at the competition
you
again.
interrupted what I was going to say, and I was saying it would suck if you got in trouble, though.
Yeah, I would rather not lose a second painting and or my freedom.
Yeah.
We wouldn't want to risk that for you, but as a favor.
He kind of chews on his knuckle a little bit, and he sort of looks at the collection of like blank canvases over sort of in the corner, and he's like, I mean, not for nothing, the guy does, put out a lot of decent material for me to work with.
That's fair.
It's not like the hardest assignment in the world.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It kind of sucks. A lot.
And art would be a good medium for it.
Yeah.
He like chews on his finger again, and then he pulls the canvas that he was working off the easel, and he puts it up against the wall with the painting mixers, and then grabs and then kind of digs through his pile of canvases until he pulls out one that looks a bit taller than the one he had, but a bit thinner. And he sort of puts it on the easel and stands back and looks at it, and he kind of nods, and he's like, okay. Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Hog.
He looks at you and he's like, I don't think I've ever heard that word before.
Oh,
it's one of these things that the young people are saying all the time now. It's very interesting. Apparently it means epic or, awesome or admirable or something like that.
Sounds like a word you'd lose 5 HP for.
It does, doesn't it?
A character that was Pog Champ that uses 5 HP for. I think Poggers and Pog are in the clear so far.
God. Gonna cry.
Min's just mouthing the word Pog to herself.
Yeah. So Yeah, not to, you know, put you in a position. You can say no if you want.
No, I pay
And
my debts. I pay my debts. After, that one time. It's fine.
awesome, sweet, cool. So we should probably, unless somebody else wants to ask him something, we should leave him to his art thing.
He nods. He's not looking at any of you anymore. He's like focused on the canvas in front of him. And he sort of pulls out like a graphite piece out of somewhere, and is like twiddling it in his fingers as he's like thinking.
Oh, wait. Do you know of any weird rumors surrounding, Walsh?
Uh, Weird how?
Uh, you
I mean,
know, silver bullet to lycanthrope kind of bullet, like a rumor, something that we could use to.
Sentences.
Or just like something
I
unflattering.
Yeah.
I mean, they say the governor doesn't like him much anymore.
Hmm. Who does like him?
I'd imagine some people like him still.
I mean, someone's gotta. Since he's
General
still.
Tehi,
Federal Tanky. Oh, I thought it said tank. Okay, I thought it said tanky. I was like, what the
no
hell?
Tehi.
Okay.
I'm sure those fuck bastards at the goddamn Sunrise Council, at least some of them like him.
Hmm.
Half the goddamn city.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. We're gonna get it out of your web and leave you to your work.
Someone once said he might have a third nipple, but I don't think that's true.
You should put that on the painting.
Nagi looks down at her chest and wonders how a third nipple would work. God. That's
Well,
weird.
it's your inspiration, dear. Have a good time. That's all. That's all.
He like waves
Yeah.
you out.
Nagi's
And-
just looking
Yeah.
down at her chest as she walks out of their house, like, how? Third nipple? How?
As you walk out, you see him like because he's a little gnomish man.
He's a gnome.
Yeah, he pulls out a step stool with his foot, and it's like 4 or 5 steps up so he can get to the middle of the canvas. And he's starting to sketch as you all walk out. He's like, "Lock the door."
We will. Good luck. And Nagi locks and closes the door.
I like him.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
He's certainly interesting.
Yeah. Too bad that
Seems a good
turtle.
fella.
Too bad that turtle painting got confiscated. I really want to see it.
Well, perhaps there's a storehouse somewhere, dear, where it still exists, but we mustn't count on it.
Nope, probably not.
Probably not.
Okay, so where do we go from here? I mean, it's getting late. We could
Yeah,
maybe
the
hop
sun
right in-
is really setting by now.
We could maybe head to the university and see if we can know anyone who could, or if we can find anyone who can date these coins. I guess they're really old. She says, holding one of the coins.
So
Probably a bit late for that.
what? Sorry, I was gonna ask what exactly, like, what time of night it is.
The sun is like in the process of setting. The city is not yet dead or asleep, but a lot of official functions, if not have already shut down, are shutting down. It is the summer, so it's like pretty late in the day.
Oh,
for it to
that's
be
right.
sunset.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I
I was kind of curious. So there was a thought I had in my head about that pendant that Julius found.
Yes.
There was that one person, I think it was a dragonborn, at the temple that he had known possibly from childhood. He's thinking about possibly going there. to see if
It-
they know anything, but I'm not sure if the temple is open or not.
It is open, but it might it's a bit open for someone to walk into the worship areas and such. In terms of getting anyone's attention, anyone being available for a meeting or anything, it's probably a bit late.
Yeah.
They're probably, late dinner, doing personal wrap up for the day. They're probably not taking visitors at this point.
Yep. I figured. That's alright.
Would any sort of library be closed by this point?
Depends. The city library might be open. The university library is most certainly open, but it might be only accessible to students this late.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking university too. Darn. Okay.
Well, we may as well check the public library because it may be open, and if it's not, we can scam one of our youngsters in because we have a lot of disguise magic to make people look like students. Just because sometimes researching things in books is useful, and I'm sure there's something somewhere that says something about that symbol of Lede.
Do you think either Nagi or Nin could possibly do that research?
Alex
No,
could do
probably not. It was a nice thought, but
Alex
Aster also
Very specific instructions, maybe.
yeah, Aster is also a youngster.
That's true.
A bit young though. Alex could pull it off.
Alex could do it.
Alex could do it.
does have that. And this sounds like it's based on disguising as one of the.
In any case, we could check the public library, and then if that does not work, we can send in a squad of faux students to search out.
Can Alex do something for the love of God? I've been doing nothing the past 3 sessions except participating in combat. Can I please do something? Sorry.
Yeah.
Let Alex do some research.
Let the cowman research. Let him.
Please.
Yeah, plus he has that really good disguise self that lets you shrink too.
Yeah, he's got it.
Oh,
He's got a
yeah.
really good disguise self, and if and not his intelligence is not bad.
Yeah.
So the public library is in the Twilight District, closer to the.
So we're not far.
No, it's on the other side. It's I'm trying to figure out how to describe this. It's by Horitari Castle, but on the side of the Western Hills, so opposite the side of the university. And you make your way over, and it is still open. However, it's maybe about 30-40 minutes away from closing.
Okay, so it's open in the sense that it would be a dick move to go in now.
Yeah, like
Yes.
going in 5 minutes before a restaurant's closing. It's like, yeah, can I have your most complicated dish?
God.
So you can try the university. You can try sneaking people into the university library.
Let's go, cowman. It's your time.
Man.
So you do have to walk back over towards the side of the Twilight District you were just on.
We're getting our steps in.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But closer to the water than where Convey's place is.
Nagi checks her Fitbit.
And you walk into the Arcanium. Which was the Arcanium here? Enchantment. I think it's the Arcanium Enchantment.
Yeah, it's enchantment.
Yeah, the Enchantment Arcanium. Thank you, PK. And I'm checking with my notes. Yes, the Arcanium Enchantment. The Arcanium of Enchantment. And once again, you kind of start walking into the area where more and more of those light green banners start to poke up, until you all end up back at the library, where some of you have already been. As suspected, it is closed to the public at this point, although student access is still available. How are you trying to get in?
didn't actually have an idea for how to get in. I just suggested that we
Yeah.
should get in. So this is going to be on somebody else.
Man.
So
I
some of
mean-
you have seen the students before, and you have seen that when they move around campus, though they don't wear like uniform robes, they all have sort of this it's not a scarf. It's sort of
Hello, they've Hogwarts
sits
houses.
no, it like sits around the neck with two long
A stole?
a stole, thank you.
Oh, stole.
Hanging down. And then on the back it bears the enchantment symbol in white.
Okay.
That seems to be like a student maybe not a uniform, but maybe
like
it is.
like an identifier, a signifier.
Not quite an ID card, but it's like someone wearing the fucking university jumper.
Yes. Y'all aren't sure if they use ID cards here or not.
Well, that would not occur to Nin, so.
Aster at least having been here before, would he have seen something like that at like the
Yeah, Nagi asked for anything from Nin. Seen her before.
Nin has been here before. Aster has been here before.
Nagi has also been here before.
Roll history checks.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh,
Shit. Go, Sun Boy.
So, okay. None of you remember ID cards specifically.
Yeah.
What you do recall, however, is a sort of sign-in book. Two actually at the front desk. And Aster, you specifically remember one had been labeled for members of the public and one had been labeled for students. And you had been asked to sign in.
Yeah. There is a sign-in book. There's one for the public and one for the students, and you're asked to sign it as you go in. Particularly if you're looking into some of the more arcane, but you're asked to sign it when you go in.
Is it like a magical sign-in book or just a book?
The other thing you do remember, Aster, is that the more restricted section of the library had been protected by so nothing very obvious, but you had seen somebody go back there, and as they had gone back there, they had pressed their hand up against a panel of wood next to the door, and it had glowed slightly, and then let them in.
I don't remember the book being magical, but near the more restricted, definitely denser arcane than I was looking at. There was a panel that did some kind of an arcane glow and then let someone through when they put their hand to it.
Well, hopefully we won't need to go there.
Yeah. It honestly might be worth just letting this sit until morning and then... I mean, Alex, if you want to try yourself as a student, it might work, but I don't know what their records look like.
yeah, I mean, how restricted do we have to get?
We don't know because we don't know, much about that symbol other than it's a kind of old day symbol.
Well, I could always ask. Just,
Yeah, do you want to try and pass yourself off as a student, or is it better to wait until tomorrow and you can ask then?
I mean, how worried are we about time?
You will have 4 days next week.
But this part might not be like one of the super time sensitive.
Yeah.
I could do it right now, but I'm not sure how much time I'll have.
Do you want backup, or do you think you're okay?
I mean, I'm fine. I just need to know what to do going in.
Maybe look at like religious history or something like that.
The Dewey Decimal System exists in Enjira.
I mean,
It's canon.
Mr. Hubert Dewey did not exist.
Right, but does a similar library archival organization system exist, like a standardized system?
A standard one, at least in Chilas. Okay. And presumably the Arcanium has a standard one between all the schools. You don't know if it's the same.
Cool. Well, Irene can offer instructions on where she thinks, like, how the books would be organized if this were organized according to typical Chalassian Dewey Decimal System rules.
Yeah, very articulate instructions are given. I'm not inventing the
Thank
Dewey
God.
Decimal System right now.
Thank
Wow.
goodness.
So immersion breaking. I'm kidding.
Wow.
I can't possibly suspend my disbelief if I don't know exactly what the fucking Dewey Decimal System is.
It's the Dilbert Decimal System, sorry.
God.
So
Yeah.
someone named Dewey doesn't exist, but Dilbert does. Okay.
Oh, God. The Dilbert Decimal System.
So are you going in, Alex?
Sure.
And Asta
Religious
will
history
relay.
centered on the day?
Yeah.
It will relay like the stole with the white symbol of enchantment on the back.
Mm-hmm. And I presume Alex disguise self for that?
Yeah, Alex, imagine some guy. Maybe a man bun, you don't know.
It's the accurate college student experience.
Yeah. He's still like 6 feet tall, right?
He's
He
he's
disguise
like
himself to be
6
like
feet tall.
someone who is shorter too.
He's like 6'6".
Tall dude, maybe he's got some giant blood in him, who knows?
Could
No,
just be some guy,
Alex
though.
looks like a dude. He's just
Some
tall.
guy Summer.
Yeah, I mean, your disguise is like, could be just like some dude with a little bit of extra tall gene in there.
Yeah, well, Alex only has an hour on the disguise self, actually, so.
Alright, so you head inside, and just as described earlier, there is a welcome desk with what looks like 2 very tired students behind it. One has a book open on her lap, and the other is like scratching out like what looks like arcane equations on a scroll.
Oh, they're doing their homework at work. L.
And there is a book. There's a book open on the desk. Where on the desk, like sort of, is written students. There's a space next to it that says members of the public, but there's no book next to it. And
Okay.
the one sort of doing symbols is like sign in.
Alex signs in. Oh god, has to put a name.
Yeah, are you doing your real name?
Alex would be able to think of a fake name, and I cannot right now. Fantasy
Like
name generator.
a very Japanese name.
All right, you make up a name.
Yeah, I'm really bad with names, so Alex knows the names. He would make up a name.
All right, you make up a name and you sort of scroll it onto the page, and you wait a heartbeat, and nothing seems to happen.
Yep. Okay.
And you head inside.
No fancy magic sign-in book for the library, only basic bitch sign-in book.
No fancy
Expensive.
sign in, just tired students.
Good.
So, make me an investigation check with advantage.
Advantage? Okay.
Due to Irene's directions.
I love her.
Thanks, Grandma.
16.
16, okay. Following Irene's instructions, you manage to sort of skip past the front bit of the library, which seems to be a lot of, like, probably the most in-demand, like, arcane sections, you know, basic introductory books for the various schools of magic, that sort of thing. And you make your way back into one of the little corner wings, where first history, modern history, ancient history, political history, religious history. The shelf here is extremely large. There are a lot of books here. A good majority are on gods that you kind of recognize. You know, the main council, you recognize the shepherd or the god of death from what Alex has talked about. I mean, Aster has talked about. Sort of those types of things. There's a lot of names here that I'm not even gonna let you roll for it. You have no fucking idea who these bitches are.
Yeah, I would assume Alex has some way of taking notes with him.
Probably, yeah. And then middle of the row, middle shelf, there is a large section of books dedicated to Lede, the worship of Lede, mythology surrounding Lede, the political history of the temple to Lede. Anything you might want to know. And you sort of kind of do some basic deduction and you pull out, you know, a practical history to the temple rather than anything like mythological or that sort of thing. And within the hour that you have, you aren't able to get a lot of details. You're very quickly skimming and scanning, looking for mention of this symbol, looking for anything. And in about the second book that you pull out and you sort of skip and scan, you find, actually towards the front of the book, you find a sketch of what looks like that same pendant symbol. And the information that you get, the symbol itself is a outdated and unused symbol for not the temple itself, but instead a group within the temple that used to serve. They were a separate order of priests and priestesses that followed the teachings of someone the book refers to as High Priestess Kinuno. I'm going to put that in chat. High Priestess Kuno seems to be referred to as the, if not founder, there's a lot about her that is sort of shrouded a bit in legend, but she is accredited with the founding of the Lede Temple in Horitari. Whether that's true, there are some debates in the historiography, but she is sort of considered head of the temple, or the at least part of the founding, or at least very important to the founding, if not the direct founder herself. The history states that she might have been Lede's champion at the time. This all taking place a little over 1,000 years ago. Which you do a little thinking and like, okay, yeah, the old sewers are, thousands of years old, so sure. Hinuno and her select order of priests and priestesses seem to be associated with a relic referred to as the living tapestry of Lede, or otherwise just the living tapestry. It's not exactly clear what they did, if they made it, if they simply, if Kinuno wove it and the order then protected it, or whatnot. It's a little back and forth. But for whatever reason, not too long after Kinuno's death, Kinuno had been an elven woman and therefore lived very, very long. Not too long after her death, her body and the tapestry both vanished. And not too long after her order of separate priests and priestesses disbanded. And the symbol has not been used since. PK's giving me a little look.
I'm making expressions because I'm thinking.
I hope that body under the sewers wasn't hers.
I'm sure that was just a regular guy, probably.
Yeah.
Did it look guy-shaped? Like a regular guy-shaped?
It was a skeleton.
I mean, fair enough. None of us are fucking...
old.
Yeah, none of us know biology that well.
Unless.
No, it was a skeleton in a very old kimono. You have no fucking idea.
Damn it.
I mean, it was guy-shaped in that it was a humanoid skeleton.
Well, yeah.
That's a guy. A human.
That is about as much as you can get buckling down and reading that section of the book. There's a lot of footnotes, a lot of references. There seems to be various, separate biographies and microhistories about Kinuno and the early temple life, available probably here, or maybe the public library. Maybe they might have some more information in the temple itself. But that is what you managed to get, that little group of information.
Cool.
Okay. And as you feel your hours start running out, you stand up and you walk out of the library before your disguised self fades.
Yep. All right. Well, Alex understands most of those words. And he communicates stuff to the party. Shows them his notes. He's a good note taker.
Good for him.
He is indeed a good note taker. Incredible. So as the party receives this information, what happens?
Yeah, I know the answer's probably no, but does Asta maybe know anything about the living tapestry?
Make either a history or religion check. Irene and Julius can both as well.
Awesome. Just with
Yeah,
regular.
I'm just
Yes.
sitting back here with my I don't go here shades.
You said religion, right? Or history?
Religion or history?
Okay, we're gonna do religion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 23.
Aster, I'm gonna start with you, because you haven't dedicated, you don't have a specific knowledge of Lede, and specific, that's not your religious base.
Yeah.
You've heard of Kinuno and the Living Tapestry? By myth, it is supposed to. There's different myths that explain that, like, try to interpret what it means by the living tapestry. You don't quite remember any of them properly. What you do remember is one time listening, talking with one of your coworkers, and someone, you were talking about some of the famous missing people's cases, and how you all know which ones lived and which ones died. and how Kinuno definitely is fucking dead. Her soul is on the intake. If you were to go back in the records far enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's fucking super dead. Irene and Julius, you're both gonna get different things. Irene, as you are coming at it from a historical background, rather than a religious studies one. You hear the name Kinuno and you instantly are like,
Okay.
because talking about Kinuno is kind of like talking about the orangutan at an Edgar Allan Poe conference.
Okay.
In that every scholar, it will start fights. Every scholar seems to have their own interpretation. Every Kinuno and Lede scholar seems to have their own interpretation of her. Some think she's a complete hack. Some people thought she probably might not have existed at all. Those people are probably wrong. Some people who think she is 100% the initial founder of the temple. Some people who think, well, she probably wasn't the only one. She just got a lot of the credit. People argue about what's myth, what's legend, what's true. What has come down from the record that was other people's slander versus legitimacy. Her historical record is very muddy and very, very contentious. What people do agree on, except for the people who think she wasn't real. She was an elven woman, probably of high elf descent, who had been a devout follower of Lede through the majority of her life, if not the entirety. She is famous for not only the living tapestry and the founding of the temple. She is also famous for what is referred to as the Grand Pilgrimage, in which, after the founding of the Lede Temple, she took many of the Lede followers and traveled up and down around Shalas, spreading the word of Lede and establishing churches and other forms of worship sites. Before this, the worship of Lede had very much been central to Horitari and not very influential outside of it. So she's kind of the reason, particularly Southern Shalas, is very into Lede. Mm-hmm. Although at the time, her grand pilgrimage also included parts of Northern Shalas. She likely died of some sort of old person illness.
God bless.
What exactly it was, medical records are shoddy.
Old people illness.
Old people illness. She probably got an infection when she was just too old to fight it and just
Perished.
Her funeral, there is records of her funeral being very lavish and very well attended. However, unbeknownst to the people of Horitari at the time, the coffin that had been paraded around the city had been emptied. It wasn't for another couple hundred years that it was unearthed through old temple records that her body had vanished from the mortuary and was never buried in where they said she was buried, just outside the city.
Hey. Okay.
Julius.
Yeah.
Kinuno was a very important figure for when learning about the early parts of the temple for a lot of the same reasons that I just explained for Irene's history check. However, your education centered Kinuno not as a historical figure with like muddy bullshit, but as this very central pious figure, the founder of the temple, possibly the first champion of Lede, possibly not, unsure. She was the one who not only developed the living tapestry, or if not developed it, then recovered it, or something. She also recovered the paintbrush that is the holy relic kept by the temple, and the one used in the festival.
All right.
Her body's disappearance is considered like sort of kind of shameful, particularly for the people who tried to hide it. And as is the disappearance of the living tapestry. There have been a lot of people over the ages who attempted to find it, to bring it back home, to figure out what happened to it, all of which have yet so far been unsuccessful. But if someone did find that thing, bring it home, proved it existed, that'd be some fucking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, drink your fucking milk, Parker.
I'm actually out of milk.
I can get you milk.
Hey guys, we gotta go find Walsh and kill him before he gets home. I think that's the only solution. He can't come back.
Yes.
He can't come back. We can't let him back in the city. He's gonna die first. Irene doesn't know this part, right? This is something that she didn't.
Yeah, Irene wouldn't be fully aware of the religious impacts of, like, the way that Kinuno's legacy is taught in the temple, and the probable religious impact of if this tapestry was real.
Man.
Because from Irene's perspective, who knows if that tapestry is fucking real?
Yeah, Julius is biting his fingernail now, like pad of his thumb, thinking, and he's like, "Oh, this is fucked. We're fucked. If he's this fucking cocky about what's happening, we're fucked." Yeah, man is deep in thought right now.
Yeah. I think I asked to kind of gently. Julius, do you think that this is what he was talking about when he said he found it?
Probably. This is not good.
No! This is an order of magnitude over what we thought we were dealing with.
In fact, it means that if we do anything now, it's just going to be child's play. We can't compete with that. That's not. He's got his hands on like that kind of overwhelmed over the face sort of thing. It just makes me sick that he's the one, maybe. That he may have found her.
We should head back to yours and we can talk about this and figure it out. This isn't a conversation for in the streets.
He does that like full body like shrug. Man is just he's deep in his thoughts right now.
Yeah.
Thoughts are in overdrive.
Alright, so y'all are going back to Julius's house?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You step in the front door?
Are the lights on inside?
I don't like that
No.
phrasing.
The lights are not inside. On inside now.
Well, guys, we would probably step in if Parker hadn't said it that way, so we probably step in.
I mean,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, but that's the thing that I would have, because the whole stalking situation before.
You're
Julius
stepping
just
into
wants-
the art gallery?
With the thing that we have the thing on?
The glyph
Yes.
of warning,
The
we are put
thing with the password?
use the
You need the
password.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe.
I was talking about
No,
going
I
in the
don't-
house, not the.
I thought you meant the whole house.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, when we enter the room that's set to blow up unless we say the certain word, we're gonna say the word that we said.
I wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that you remembered that.
Yeah.
And then
I
we
actually
just
didn't,
walk
so-
in there.
Kill
Kidding.
someone.
As you walk in the front door, however, you open the front door, and Julius, you notice there is a little piece of like what looks like pink cardstock paper that sort of flutters to the ground.
What the hell is this? He'll pick it up.
It is a folded little note. It's light pink cardstock, with sort of violetish calligraphy inside that basically reads, "Back in town, come say hi, Hidemi."
Can you type that in chat, the name?
Mm-hmm.
Is this one of the X's?
Hidemi. Okay. Hold on a second.
This vibes like it's one of the X's.
It feels like it's one of the X's.
Let me look at my notes.
Yeah, I would be going through my backstory so fast right now.
I know what I've done.
Or who you've done.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
I can't
it
believe
is-
you took a
it
drink
is
from
good.
that mug pretending there was
Excellent.
milk in there.
Oh my god. Okay. He kind of like takes a look at the pink cardstock and just kind of. There's a little bit of a twitch on his lip, and he's just gonna slip back into his pocket. just slip into the pocket.
Save that bad boy for later.
Yep. Otherwise, he's gonna just act normal.
That is your evening, unless anybody else has anything.
Yeah, there's something I want to do. I've been waiting for 2 months to do this, with PK not being too soup, and everyone using the sendings. Nagi will say, "Hey, Granny, I was wondering if you could send a sending for me."
Yes, of course, dear. To who?
Well, I was wondering if you could try sending to my mom.
Oh, well, yes, of course, dear. You'd have to show me what she looks like and tell me what you'd like me to say, of course. But
oh, right, Aster, I need the hat.
All right.
I'll show you in an hour, Granny. I'm sorry, I forgot I couldn't do the thing.
it's all right, dear. Just let me know. I'll be here.
An hour later.
Can Granny spend that hour
Okay.
summoning her cat?
You can spend that hour summoning.
Granny spends the hour summoning her goddamn cat. Snowball's back, baby.
I forgot about this cat. Oh no.
She kind of looks. She looks up at you and she's like,
I know, dear. I'm very sorry. I know. I'm so sorry. It won't happen again. We'll be more careful. I'll make sure that you're safely tucked away anytime there's any sort of fighting to be done. I promise.
She looks up at you and she kind of narrows her eyes. And she kind of tilts her chin up at you.
Scritches! Granny gives scritches.
And in that hour, Nagi can get the hat back.
Yeah, and then she'll come back. Oh, Snowball's back. Welcome back, Snowball. Yeah, good to see you too. Then she'll say, okay, so
You can't just see now that I just like opened my mouth.
I wish I could see whatever face you're making when you do that.
I wish you could.
It's just like the jaw opens and sound pours out.
I just hope that you stare at PK every time you do it and just go, ah!
That is what's been happening.
Good.
I'm pretty sure that at least some of Snowball's noises you did just yoink from my I'm awake but I don't like it noises.
Kinda, yeah. Alright.
Nagi's mom.
Yeah. Then she'll say, glad to see you too, Snowball. And then she'll say, so of course her name is Ayasa Yoshie, and she looks like this. And she'll use how to disguise to turn and posting the picture into a rather pretty tall elven woman with brown skin, black hair, dressed in like blacks and greens. Yeah, that was
40s, maybe late 40s at this point.
Yeah.
So pretty. Yeah.
And
yeah.
I want you to tell her that I am looking for her, and if she'll please come home, because I miss her and I'm worried about her.
Sorry, I'm just typing up a draft of my sending here on wordcounter.net.
The friend of sending.
I love it. I have to use that every time too.
I normally just go and hope for the best.
I could never.
It's less I would go and hope for the best, but Granny wouldn't. You know, Granny would literally write it down and plan it out.
We're still level 6, right? I just want to make sure.
Yes, level 6.
Man, I missed one session and I feel like I missed everything.
PK's doing this. I have my like notebook of lore out on the table.
You're lucky I can't read.
Yeah.
I'm worried Parker's gonna ask PK to roll a D100.
Okay.
Is that information?
You let me know when you're ready, because I've got my my sending all prepared.
Where the fuck? There it is. I was stuck in the fucking tree right here.
Incredible.
Okay, I'm good.
All right. Hello, Ayase. I'm a friend of Nagi's. She's looking for you. She says, please come home. She misses you and is very worried about you.
Can you put that in chat, please?
Yes. If I can copy paste with any kind of decency. I don't know if I spelled her name right, but
Yeah.
I went for it.
Can you also roll me a spellcasting check?
I can roll a
That's what I was worried
spellcasting
about.
check.
That's right. That's what I was worried about.
It will be your intelligence plus your proficiency.
So is it just like my spell attack bonus?
Yes, essentially.
Okay, Pog. Roll.
It just technically is not an attack, it's just a check.
8. Natural 20, motherfucker!
Fuck yeah, Granny! That's my granny.
So you sort of send it out.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel it sort of travel across the sort of waves of the arcane sort of lines that run through the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it travels for a while as it kind of searches out this woman. And faster than you expect, it connects. Usually casting to somebody that you don't quite know takes a little bit longer if it connects at all, but this was pretty fast. You sort of, the message is delivered and it sits. You know it connected, but it sits.
You have one unread email.
Oh my god. What a
Sorry.
And then you get a response. I'm sorry. Can't talk right now. And that's it.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Good answer to get.
Granny will relay this word for word to Nagi. Did it sound tired, in pain, hushed, for like what was the vibe? Can I insight check the sending?
You can insight check the sending, yes. It will not be at disadvantage, but it will be a decent DC.
Okay, I'm not great at insight. Yeah, I'm not. 11.
It did sound hushed. First off, you can tell her volume is not extremely high. There was something off about her tone. Whether it was tired or an affect of the volume, or maybe she's just an oddly monotone person. That doesn't seem right. Especially not if this woman raised Nagi.
Yeah.
A bit drained, maybe? You can't tell specifics, but something is up.
Okay. Granny will tell that to Nagi as well. You know, I'm not very familiar with her voice, of course, dear, but she didn't sound quite... You know, there's something off. I'm not sure if she was tired or if there's something else, but...
Nagi, your mother is not a monotone person.
Yeah. Nagi drops his skies and her face looks a little crestfallen.
I'm sorry.
For a moment, and then she forces a smile and says, "Thank you, Granny. You did your best."
I'll try again.
No, you know,
another
you don't have
time.
to.
I will, dear.
I'll go give the hat back to Aster. And yeah, she goes to give the hat back to Aster wordlessly, and then just goes to the art gallery, says the password, and kind of just curls up for the night.
Hey, can Asta get the vibe that she seems upset?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he kind of,
I mean,
at the word,
I guess Nagi could roll deception, but that doesn't seem very hiding it to me.
Yeah.
so I think he's gonna kind of, as you're walking away, do you want some company?
No, I'm fine. I'm just gonna go to bed.
There's a little smile and shoulder squeeze, and we're here if you want or need, yeah?
Yeah, she just nods and then goes up to the
Once-
couch.
There's fresh bedding in the closet, Nagi.
Once Nagi goes, Irene's gonna turn to Snowball and say, "All right, I know she's not one of your children, but she's very upset right now, and I think she could do with a good kitty, nice kitty friend. What do you think?"
You get cat eyes like narrowed.
I love you very, very much, dear, and I'm very sorry for what happened today, and I will buy you all the treats you could possibly want. Good kitty. Now go see if she would like some cuddles.
Wait, can Snowball say the password?
Irene can go with Snowball to say the password if the cat's gonna fucking explode the.
Warding is only humanoids.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a
okay.
familiar cat. It's
Okay, thank God.
Yeah.
Her over the glyph.
Snowball like pads up to you, Nagi, and you kind of just get like a sniff, and then.
Oh, she kind of jumps in surprise and she's like, "Oh, hi, Snowball. I'm fine."
And she kind of like twists her head up against your arm. In that way cats do when they want to be pet.
Yeah, she'll just squeeze Snowball a bit and just kind of she's trying to hold back tears, but they just come just welling right now. And she just kind of cries with Snowball for a bit.
Snowball purrs in your arms. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's what Ayase would say.
Oh, it's okay. Nagi just has a million things running through her head right now.
Mm-hmm. Is that the evening?
How late is this evening?
It's just after sunset.
Would the area that this person is that Julius knows,
It would still be open, yes.
Man, it's probably
Good for
Oh
him.
no.
Get it,
Should I roll
Julius.
that?
Roll your con save. Julius. Okay. Julius, you sort of head off. You head off towards the westerly part of Glass Park, towards where it borders up with the Western Hills. And you quickly find a fairly familiar building. It's about 2 stories tall. Unlike a lot of other buildings, it doesn't have that same sort of like stained glass motif. Especially not on the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
For what I think are possibly obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I will find a name for this place.
Yeah,
If
I
you'll
know I
give
didn't
me
give one. Sorry.
1 second. I didn't realize you'd be going so quickly.
I'm sorry.
To get some.
No. Believe it or not, he doesn't always think with his dick. Just because he's sexy doesn't mean he's getting some all the time.
No, he
It
is.
It's called the Fantasy Name Generators.
All the fantasy name generator.
FantasyNameGenerators.com.
It's called the Alabaster Cheetah.
Oh my god.
Alabaster
What the
Cheetah?
fuck?
Yeah, the Alabaster
Cheetah.
Cheetah,
Like
okay.
like the animal.
I thought you said Cheeto. I was like, huh, that's interesting.
That's amazing.
The Alabaster Cheetah. You open the door, there's a little bell that rings. There is a sort of front desk welcoming area where a sort of what looks like a young Loxodon woman who you recognize looks up at you, and she kind of tilts her head and she's like, "Well, it's been a while. Amori said you might have beefed it."
It was a close one.
She sort of leans over, pulls out a book, flips a couple of pages, and then is like, "You're really lucky. He's open for the next 3 hours."
Would he have to book some time, I suppose?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll take the next 3 hours. How much would that be? I forget his price.
It'll be 40 for the first hour, 10 for every hour after.
Nocturne, there's no weird background sound coming from Nocturne.
Yeah, whatever that 20 noise is that.
It might be Fan.
It's Sewa.
Oh, it might be Sewa.
Is that a little
Sarah,
better?
Sarah, sorry, it was Sarah.
Yeah,
So,
that's better.
A bit.
Hold on.
Ish, but not
There we
really.
go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Better?
much better. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that.
So is that in gold or what is?
In gold, yes.
Oh god. Okay. So what would it be in total for the 3 hours?
It would be 60 gold.
60?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, he'll do that. 60 gold. However, that does take him down to 104 gold.
Oh, only 104 gold.
104. No.
She takes it and waves you upstairs. She's like, "Same place." And you head up the staircase on the right and past a couple of doors until you find the one at the very end of the hall. Each door has a cheetah head in white marble on the front. Why it's white marble and the place is called the Alabaster Cheetah? Hidemi just kind of laughed and said the vibe when you asked one time.
That's awesome.
And you knock on the door.
Private
I presume.
Yeah. Just gentle.
You hear a hello from inside.
I received a calling card.
There's a scooting of a chair, and then the door opens, and Hidemi Amori, for the rest of you, a male tiefling, sort of pink-violet skin, black eyes, and uh, sort of pink hair, dressed. Julius, he's not fully dressed for a client because he wasn't expecting one for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And instead is just kind of in what looks like a very soft silken bathrobe.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a layer of foundation on, but nothing else yet.
That's fair. Julius wasn't here for that necessarily, so he just gives a slight smile.
And he kind of leans against the door and he's like, well, I thought I might be setting my hopes a little high, but hello, gorgeous.
Hello, dear. It's nice to see you again.
He waves you inside. There's a glass of champagne on his vanity. And he very quickly downs it and he's like, sorry, I don't have a second. I didn't expect anybody.
That's alright. Even though I booked the time, it wasn't necessarily for... I guess... Mainly, it's because I can talk to you a little bit, I guess. I didn't really expect you to reach out, if I'm being honest.
Oh, sweetie, even if I didn't like you as much as I do, you practically paid my bills for a couple of months. Of course I'm gonna reach out. He sits down on the edge of his bed, crosses his legs.
Julius will kind of grab a chair. Whatever's around, just kind of chill out on that.
I mean, there are certainly chairs. They're not really meant for sitting, at least not in the usual way, but there are chairs.
Well, he'll pick a comfortable one that doesn't...
For what?
This is a brothel!
What are you doing on the chairs?
Wait, what does broth have to do with chairs?
It's like lay down a cloth between clients? And then wipe it down?
Is it like a sex swing?
What do you do on the chair?
That's between Hidemi and his client.
No! No! No.
He is happy to let you sit down.
No.
And he's just like, what can I do for you?
Well, I mean, honestly, I've kind of been burning at both ends. I know you're necessarily not paid to give information, I guess, but I would like to know what's been kind of going on in the city since I've been gone. I know you're well connected, or at least were.
I mean, I still am, sweetheart. It's just some of it's confidential. You know that.
I do. But there's some things in the line I'm trying to take care of. And if there's anything you know about the High Priest Walsh...
He looks at you and he's like, since when are you interested in the town? Or religion, or anything holy? Last time I knew you, you were really unholy.
He seems like Julius, for once in the last day and a half, seems a little bit more relaxed than he has been in a while. Just kind of crosses his arms a little bit. Well, I nearly met God twice, so I think a little bit of worship won't hurt.
Lots of worship types out there.
He just smirks a little bit.
Demi smirks at you back. If you're asking if Mr. Thomas Walsh, Father Thomas Walsh, head of the temple, blessed be his name, he sticks his tongue out a little bit, comes to see little old me, then I'm sorry, I have to say no.
I love this guy.
That's fair.
I mean, of course we get the occasional temple member down here. They don't forbid it or anything.
I was just curious if you heard anything. Plus, it's nice to talk to an old friend again.
I've heard he has 3 nipples.
God.
You know, I've been starting to think that might be true now, considering how many times I've heard it.
Guys, we're gonna have to check that body.
This is it, guys. This is the secret to taking this man down. The third nipple.
We hog tie him and then check if he's a third nipple.
You know how some people have a third eye spiritually? No, he has a third nipple spiritually.
Yeah. Spiritual third nipple.
That's what landed him the high priest thing, not because he was set up for it, but
That third nipple really does. I mean, what can you say?
it looks great on a resume.
God.
I'm gonna cry.
Hidemi kind of chuckles at his own third nipple thing, and then he's like, he's not in town right now, I don't think. Rumor says he's looking for something. I don't know. I worship a couple of the holy folk, but not Lede.
I think I would have known, but I suppose there's always room to change.
Me? Change? Change into what? A chiffon dress?
If you'd like. I'm not here to dictate that.
Always could.
I'd like you to be comfortable.
The festival is gearing up. That's always a good business time.
It's true.
Word on the street says you were dead. So,
Yeah.
Shinohara's still kicking around.
Got to see her recently. It's been a while. Wasn't too happy with me.
I can't imagine why.
Can Julius kind of get a read a little bit on, Hidemi's, reaction to Julius being here? Is it does there seem to be any sort of, anger about it or not? He's kind of curious.
Make an insight check.
Okay. This is probably gonna not work the best. I bet you they're pretty damn good at that, but we'll see. Yeah, no. That's so hilariously bad. That's a 9.
He doesn't seem mad. He seems just kind of amused, kind of interested.
Okay.
What else? Nashimura tried to make a move on this place a couple of months ago. Boss lady kicked him out.
Nashimura? Oh, the
Devils?
The Black Devils, yes.
Yes, him. Which, thank goodness. I hear they take terrible pay cut. They take terrible rates off of pay.
I'm glad they didn't go out without a fight. Be ashamed to see this place lost. And for you to lose your pay. And for you to lose your pay.
The real tragedy. What else? What else might you be interested in?
Any new curious characters come around this place?
Around here? Shakes his head. No, I mean, we get one-off clients, sure. I had to fill my time somehow after you were gone, but no one weird.
Obviously, I wouldn't hold that against you.
He sort of drums his fingers against like the edge of his bed. His nails are very manicured.
I think Julius at this point is probably going to stand. Well, I just wanted to check in. I'm not going to be here very long. I did pay for 3 hours, but I need some rest. I've been in unspeakable places today. I'd rather not subject you to this.
Don't talk down on yourself like that. I mean, unless dying twice, ruined those abs of yours, then I don't know if it's subjecting you to anything. He sort of taps his finger against kind of the...
Are you at least doing alright?
Oh, I'm doing fine.
Good. I'll leave you for the night, and hope you get some good rest.
See you around, Julius. Don't be a stranger.
Never. And if you need anything, you know where to find me. So.
I do indeed.
I'll try to be around at least for a little while longer. He'll kind of reach out though and give just a little bit of like just a little bit of a face stroke, just a little.
He sort of smiles up at you. What's your passive perception?
Oh boy, let's see here. Perception is 11. Passive perception. He's gonna fucking steal from me. That'd be funny. Alright. And Julius will probably head off.
Alright, he bids you adieu. The marble cheetah sort of on the back of his door very much sort of sends you off. And the lady at the front desk kind of gives you like a little bit of a look. I'm not gonna say anything.
Wow, you finished fast.
He'll give her a slight smile and just say it was a social visit. I just paid extra for the fun of it. And he's going to leave.
When Julius sprints during a marathon.
Worse.
When Julius sprints during
worse, you know that, right?
When she thinks Julius sprints during a marathon.
God. It's whatever.
Guys,
unfortunately, only PK saw my expression.
But good God, was it an expression? I'm sorry for Julius's reputation because
Julius nuts quick.
Oh my God.
Don't let Alex know.
I'm gonna cry.
Sorry,
Ren,
I'm
you
kidding.
can't do that to yourself. I'm sorry.
And you can head back home.
Whatever. Julius is not he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
It'll be a nice surprise when people are like, "Oh, he doesn't."
Set expectations
Oh
low.
my god.
Lower the bar.
God, I
Anyways,
hope
yeah,
that's
he's
something we
gonna.
never find out.
Yeah, God. Anyways, Julius is gonna head home, but he's gonna try and make sure he's not like being followed or anything weird because of what happened last time.
Make a perception check.
Because he didn't really do that on his way there. Oh, see, now he rolls good. Okay. Jesus Christ. 20 on perception.
As you head out of the building, as you walk out the front door, another fellow kind of, like he was reaching to open the door himself, and you kind of jostle him for a second. And he kind of, oh, sorry. But as you do, he kind of starts forward a little bit, and out from like the inside of like his sort of the breast fold of his kimono, out sort of slips on a very thin leather chain, what looks like a sort of white stone pendant, maybe marble, and then he's in the building and gone.
What? Would that have been something he would have seen at some point?
Make a history check.
Okay. Oh, natural 20.
Granny's so proud.
Julius! Smart! He only gets this good on history and insight, or not insight, investigation.
Yeah, there is one thing that pops to your mind kind of instantly when you think about sort of those little white pendants, marble pendants. But it doesn't really make any sense. Because what pops to your mind is a group referred to as the Marble Hand, which is essentially a loose collection of bards, bardic types, bardic teachers. They're not really like an organization. They're just kind of more like a support group for bards, more or less.
Interesting.
You've seen people that have like played at taverns who have had that symbol, or sort of town squares, or in like during the festivals. You remember specifically, and this is just because of the natural 20. You remember at one point having a little dalliance with one said bard, and as the pendant came off, where it had been attached to his clothing, you had felt a slight ridged pattern against one of the faces. But it hadn't been very visually distinguishable, and you had paid no attention to it at the time.
So a pendant is possibly magical.
Or just subtle.
Yeah, I know. Alright. Okay.
This does remind me, I need to keep making the dice bag for Parker.
Okay.
Yes, alert sound emoji version.
Yeah, that's why I use that emoji, is for the...
And is that it for the evening?
Yeah. Finally, Julius is useful.
One last thing. Nin just wants to go, if it's not too late in the evening, to just like find some paint and like a canvas, maybe.
Sure. Some of the market is still open.
Okay.
A canvas? Like, how big?
Not super big. Like, maybe, I don't know, a foot by a foot.
You get that for a couple silver?
Okay. And then some paint, mostly green.
Okay. Like real high quality shit, or just like anything you can get?
Decent quality, I guess. Not like top shelf, but you know.
All right.
Shitty.
Altogether, then it'll probably run you about a gold and a half.
Okay.
Easily done.
Frog. Sorry.
As everyone settles down to bed, sometime after Nagi passes out, Snowball comes sort of pittering, pattering back up to you, Irene. And she looks up at you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand that's what I'm meant for, right?
Yes, dear. But, you know, it's been a little while since we've had young ones, so...
She sort of sits down in her pit called paw. It sort of curls around her feet. Not what I meant.
Oh. Well, yes, dear, but that doesn't mean it's good. Don't. Doesn't need to happen any. I mean, surely it's avoidable.
It's just straight into Irene's head over their connection.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
She sort of looks up at you. If I get bit by a spider, all you need is a couple of treats to bring me back. If you get bit by a spider, it takes a lot more.
Yes, I suppose that's true, dear. Oh, we'll make it work. You and I, we always have, we always will.
She sort of stretches out and lays down and puts her head on the back of her paws in the way cats do.
Irene gets pats.
She kind of purrs.
Yeah.
She doesn't say anything else.
Okay.
Still.
Okay.
You all sleep the night, and the sun rises, and 4 days until the festival begins.
Okay. I think Asta's gonna, when we all kind of set up for breakfast. Okay, do we want to bother with the propaganda plan, or do we want to try and intercept?
I'm really not sure. If he ends up in the city with Tapestry, we're fucked. There's no amount of bad talk that's going to change that. People are going to.
Yeah,
He
that's.
goes off having a child that's destined by Lede and bringing back a tapestry that is significant to the worship of the temple, like a historical artifact. It's there's nothing we can do.
So we go find where he is, and we what?
I mean, the neatest option that also discredits him is make sure he comes back with a fake. And an obvious fake. Make it look like he thought he could pass off for fakers.
If he does happen to have it, we could just take it.
Well, do you think he'd wait to present it until, the festival, or would he announce it beforehand?
He'd almost certainly make a big deal out of it we worked out, right? He was coming home just the night before.
Yeah.
It would no doubt be part of the opening hullabaloo.
It would be proudly displayed during the festival as well.
It would be displayed during the opening and then throughout the festival. That's the most striking way of doing it.
I do quite like the idea of the fake thing.
I think that sounds fun.
Would be great if we had the correct one. If we could take it from him and somehow enchant a different tapestry to look very similar.
Until the reveal.
Exactly.
It
needs to be a very good fake, though. A very good one. He wouldn't be able to detect the magic. It needs to be woven within it.
Well, step one, do we even know where he is currently?
I mean, we could figure it out, I think.
Probably. Are we going to do that? Because if so, chop chop.
Why did he go personally to get it? Seems like a lot of work.
Probably so he can verify it himself.
Probably so it's him personally bringing it back to the city.
I guess that's true.
It's less impressive when it's like, oh yes, Thomas Walsh ordered some people to go grab this artifact that is very important.
I mean, that's almost
brought back by other people.
That's almost definitely what he did anyways, right? He's
well,
just
certainly, yes.
Carry it in.
It's about appearances.
I'd like to know.
Yeah, it's about.
I'd like to know how he figured out where it was, though. If he has it. This is all under the assumption that he does have it and he's not a fucking liar.
It would be very funny if this turned out to be a fake after all now, wouldn't it, dear? But we really can't take that chance.
No. I would rather he not have it at all.
Yeah.
I feel like my mother would know.
Well?
Why does it all have to be so damn complicated?
You think it's worth the risk to try and talk to her again?
Rosetta?
Yeah.
We have sentence.
I guess.
We probably shouldn't meet up until we absolutely need to.
Well, dear, if you need me to say anything, tell me what it is. I can ask her.
That's the problem. I don't really know what to tell her. Or ask.
Ixalia pipes up and goes, well, in a way, but no.
Nagi nods and says, yeah, in a way, we'd probably definitely know. We could sneak you in.
How the hell would that How would that work? Sorry, I in real life choked when I said that, so I guess you can say that's him also choking.
You can disguise yourself.
I don't entirely know how Leday's worship services work, but I know with ours, there are ways to get an audience with the priest in attendance.
But we sort of tried that already. She's busy. It wouldn't be open to the public. I would have to sneak in like was it Ixalia or Nin?
Ixalia and Nagi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ix and Nagi when they disguise themselves as staffers. That would be the best bet.
Yes, she is busy, but if we could figure out a way to get you in without it getting out, she would see you.
That's why I said we sneak him in.
Yeah.
X and I know the layout. We can guide him to her.
Ivana needs to be aware of this first, then. Let her know what's going to happen.
Right. So,
Like, I need to know who I'd be disguised as, first of all. Unless you want me to be a random person. I guess, in a way, or not in a way, Ravetta would know something. Or someone. Or I could take over one of your guys' disguises. Just say that I have a sore throat. Octo. I'm not the best at mimicking voices yet.
I mean, there's the extremely risky option, which is rely on the fact that whatever contact she's had with Ravetta knows that you're you. And Ravetta knows that you're you, and therefore we can send in a way directly and ask for. That's the simple option.
Do you guys remember her schedule? Where she was in certain times?
Billy DM.
She was in her quarters for most of the day, except for lunchtime. You don't know about the earliest parts of the day or the latest parts of the day, but she stayed very much in her quarters.
She is mostly in her room all day, except for lunch.
And I suppose either early morning or late night would be the primest of times to actually visit. Or to sneak in. It would be less suspicious for her to be in her room when she's supposed to be than late to lunch. I feel like possibly a night visit would be a better bet. Less people awake and wandering.
But
but if we want to do this, we have a very, very short time frame. So do we want to wait until tonight to get this done? Because we still have, the whole go intercept Walsh, replace his relic with a fake relic, and all
We'd be
that.
better as
What
soon as.
What we do is we sending Ravetta, ask her the best way to go about this, and go from there.
Is that what we want to do?
Could ask, yes. Would be the safest
Okay.
option.
Yes. Also, Nagi, I want to borrow you and have a bit more of a look at that tunnel. Based on what Snowball gave us, it might be.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Is Granny good to do ascending to Ravetta?
Yeah, I'd say ascending to Ravetta would be a good idea. I don't
Yep.
know exactly what to put in it, but...
Well, Irene's got an idea, so she's going to go ahead and just say what she's going to say.
Sounds good.
Ravetta.
Trust her.
It's Irene. We're changing our plan. Julius wants to see Inoue. There must be a way to accomplish it, and we want your thoughts.
Put it in chat.
Oh god, that just makes it sound like he just wants to talk to his mom.
I don't care if he just wants to talk to his mom, it's the truth, okay?
That is true. Oh my god.
There.
It's gonna be another one of those conversations where it's like, I didn't just come here for you.
Look.
You feel it connect instantly.
Yes.
Because you know Ravetta. You do feel it sit for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You know Ravetta takes a second to think about her responses.
God bless her.
Maybe if it weren't so close to the festival, it would be easier. She can't leave her room much. It would be very hard. And that's her answer.
Okay. Irene will relay that. PK is thinking, fuck it, sending to Inouye. But I think that would actually be a terrible plan. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so too.
I feel like she's being monitored very closely, so I'm scared.
Probably.
Probably.
However, if she's being monitored extremely closely, it would probably be easier for her to cover up receiving a sending from an old gnome lady than her missing son showing up in her room in the flesh.
Yeah, I'm just
a thought.
terrified. Because I'm like, what if she has somebody just like reading her fucking thoughts all the time and it terrifies me?
Well, if that's the case, then Julia showing up in her room is also going to go extremely poorly, yeah?
I know.
Yeah, it was quite.
If you know about Julius at this point, then we're fucked. So we can assume that's not a thing that's happened.
Do what now, huh? You cut out for me.
If there's someone in her room with, like, detect thoughts all the fucking time, they already know Julius is alive. Which would have set some things in motion.
Well,
we didn't see anyone in there with her, right?
Also, thinking about it logically, why would Walsh have a reason to be reading her thoughts all the fucking time? He thinks he's got her completely under control by virtue of he has her child stuck in a cave with handcuffs on all the fucking time. So
He has both of her children in a cave.
that is also true. He has 2 children in a fucking cave. So he's probably pretty confident in his like secure control of this bitch. I meant that. I didn't mean to call her a bitch. That was very rude. I respect Julius's mother quite a bit.
Thank you. I almost thought I had to kill you for a second. Murder.
Yes, kill.
kill. No, I'm kidding. Oh, God, I don't know what to do. It's the issue. So, oh my God.
Sending to
Maybe.
Inouye is actually the most efficient move.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think about it, because we could tell Ravetta what we know right now, but that's kind of all, like, we've already talked about, like, the whole, what do you want to call it, the possibly having, like, a prophet for a sibling or whatever the fuck that Walsh wants his child to be, or that he's trying to play it up to. I think Ravetta already has, like, talked about that. So the fact that, like, the thing he's looking for may have been also the tapestry. I just,
I mean, whatever we gotta do, we have about 75 words in which to do it.
Oh my God, I don't know what to say!
More to that, if you give Asta, like, 10 minutes.
Okay, so we have... Actually, we probably have both the clerics have sending, right? So we have whatever Irene can say, whatever Aster can say, and whatever Alex can say. But the point is, we still need her to, 1, trust us, 2, like, agree with this plan, 3, fucking have the information we need and deliver it to us. Like, we have a series of, like, necessary steps to this, and it's very difficult to accomplish all of our goals with the limited format of sending. But it is probably still the best way to do it, because I don't think Julius ending up in her room is gonna happen.
Yeah, and I think it's a bad idea
Probably
because
not.
if he ends up there, him trying to get out in a timely manner is nigh impossible.
Yeah, it's not.
And he could get
So
caught
what
at
that'll
any
have to do
point. So, oh my god, my stomach is seriously sick thinking about it. I'm trying to.
Compartmentalize.
Yeah, we can take a breath, we can call it here and let everyone think about it for 2 weeks.
I don't know.
I mean, that would be nice to call it here.
Yeah.
Just not to be selfish or anything, but A, I'm Soup. B, I have Parker here.
Yeah.
And I want to
Yeah.
bully him for a few hours, and I can't really do that while he's DMing.
That's fair.
So we can call a session here. You all can spend 2 weeks in your little secrets channel.
God.
It's a group chat, please. It's not a channel.
God. Our Pope fight channel, let's
The
go!
Pope fight chat, yeah.
We're gonna kill the Pope, damn it. Not the actual Pope. God, oh no, YouTube, don't demonetize me. I'm kidding, I don't make money.
Oh, right, this is being recorded. God bless.
Alright. We're gonna
I'm not actually planning on killing the Pope.
No,
we're gonna call session here then.
Okay.
Thank you all. Yeah. I know that was a lot of info dump lore time.
It's good though.